Taking names, mate. No.
Just taking names.
Does that matter?
How's this going to work? It doesn't. So you're still sitting there live?
Good.
Yeah.
Just thinking. Yeah. Sorry, mate. Just working something out.
Work it out, dude. Go for it.
I'm just working out some dimensions for something. Just measuring stuff in my mind.
Nice.
Measuring how small my mind is. About yay big.
You ready to go?
Yeah, mate.
3, 2, 1, you're on.
We're on it.
You're on. I've just got to sort this out so it doesn't keep falling down on us. Don't you hate it when you get a floppy iPad? Does that work?
Yeah, it's redneck enough, I reckon.
Down.
Probably need to make it more wobbly to give people motion sickness on a Tuesday.
Well, yeah, it does have a TV remote jammed behind it so that it
We like to do things like that.
It's all redneck. Did you see the IBC out the front?
I walked straight past. I probably put my hand on it.
Well, that's where the balls are going to all mix together in
Massive.
the race.
Yeah, good.
And the microphones have fallen down. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Real Redneck Carpet Grass Club.
G'day, fanatics. Yee! Yee!
So I went shopping today and I bought redneck supplies for the race, the ping pong ball race.
Ping pong ball race. We got some more redneck stuff to do for the Dew Whip 2.0.
I bought some stuff for that too. So
We
we'll
had,
probably have a Dew Whip 2.0, a 3.0 and a 4.0.
Yeah.
We'll just keep going. We'll give you plenty of options on.
It'll be the cheapest, most over-engineered, under-engineered thing we've ever done. Like it'll have everything.
Well, I think by the time we've come up with a decent idea, we probably should have just bought one.
Yeah. It'll probably be like a Dew Whip with a built-in brake light or something.
Nice.
Massive.
So we're downstairs again because it's cold outside.
Yeah.
You said Melbourne had its coldest winter morning.
What was it?
I don't know, but about 18 Queenslanders died. I think.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Sounds about right. So we usually start with sport.
Indeed. How good is sport?
Sport is good. You made a save this morning. Did you see that?
When was that?
In the soccer. You're the goalkeeper.
I know. I'll claim that. You can't top that. That was Schwarzer-esque, and I actually saw some posts. I don't know if anyone's on, this is on Facebook. So if anyone's on Good Footy Energies, someone put a post up while Aussies were taking their penalties, and then the keeper was trying to save. There was a bloke with a John Aloisi jersey holding it up, and he was wearing a long sleeve Socceroos jersey. And someone was just saying that there was no way that Socceroos were going to lose after this bloke was holding this jersey up. It was just such a good vibe. Back to the 06 era.
Well, Nelson's already saying great work in the shootout this morning, because the Masons are going on. Because Gary's done his best work. His best work in a long time.
You can probably put that up close to the camera.
Can we see that? Hang on, there's that.
You probably can't. Here, do you want me to?
And then
was that charging?
It's charging. And then there's Wally. It's the same guy. It's the same bloke.
I'll claim it. I'll take it. I'll take it. It's good feedback.
Matty Alexander down in Tassie, minus 3.9 down there this morning. Hope you're still wearing your pluggers, mate. And I bet he was.
I was talking to Doug actually
Yeah, he
from
was.
Taz Turf today,
Yeah.
and he was telling me that he had seen that we'd had cold weather, and I was like, yeah, cold by our standards.
Well, we got jumpers
He's
on,
like-
but we're
he's
both
like-
wearing shorts.
He's like, you're getting down to like 18 degrees.
Yeah.
It's like,
We're our block is, our farm is. We had
that's cold out there.
well, we've got frost burn on the lawn.
Massive.
So we've had frost. Well, during the week, I think Wednesday and Thursday mornings they had sub-zeros.
Did you have to get the skidoo out?
No.
Oh.
No, but I've got the truck bogged. If you're going to get the truck bogged, get it bogged enough that you have to stay an extra night and call the tow truck the next day sort of bogged. That's what you want. Yeah, he wears his pluggers. Unless Matty Alexander's like a landscaping mowing contractor. He was in Western Australia, but he moved back to Tassie.
So he wears.
I
like
can't
a-
explain why you would move from Western Australia to Tassie, but he did. But he wears his pluggers, his thongs, 24/7, except when he goes on a site that has to wear steel caps. Then he put them on.
So he's normally
surfer, he's a
in a
surfer.
Tassie dinner suit,
Tassie
is
dinner
a-
suit, yeah.
which is what is it? It's a flannel,
Yeah,
and,
probably,
like,
yeah,
Aussie rules like footy shorts
yeah, probably.
and pluggers.
Yeah, and a beanie, a sloppy looking beanie. Yeah,
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 I'd say that's
yeah.
bang on.
Yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah,
bang. And he surfs like he goes surfing in Tassie.
yeah,
Like
Yeah,
he's
good.
full on lunatic. He's great. Wally's the stick of the Socceroos. Yes, he is Ben. Ben Cameron. He's
I'll claim it.
yeah.
So yeah, that's where I was this morning. I actually, everyone thinks I do all this turf stuff, but I actually play.
You're a
for
Socceroos. And
So-
you're in where was the game? Was it in Peru?
UAE.
Oh, in
I
UAE,
think.
yeah.
I thought it was. I don't know. They play like these neutral venues.
It's probably a good
little
idea, 'cause
friendlies.
I think a couple of years ago Australia played against Uruguay and they actually had bands playing outside the Socceroos hotel 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah, pretty standard.
Pretty loud.
I don't know if anyone saw the reaction of the reporter off the ABC.
Oh,
Tony,
yeah,
I think
yeah.
absolute legend.
Yeah.
In what's the Federation Square in Melbourne?
Yeah.
Holy dooly.
Went off his nut.
Going absolutely off this morning.
Off that, yeah, it was
Yeah,
good to
it's
see.
massive.
Well,
So-
well done to the Socceroos.
It's exciting times, you know. Surprisingly enough, it's interesting how much involvement Australia's had in the lead up to the World Cup.
Yeah, we're good. It's the 5th World Cup in a row or something that we're going to be at. So.
Yeah, from a sport level, but from a turf level as well.
Yeah, right, yeah.
You know, like who I used to work for, and now Carlos is there, and some of the grasses have been under trial over there. You know, got a look in.
Carlos was over there working there, wasn't he?
Yeah, Carlos has done a fair bit of work for FIFA, but now he's doing like a lot of the trial work and information, and how to work on warm season and in those warm climates got fed into
Yeah.
how to run some of those pitches for the World Cup. So, you know, it's crazy how close to home, surprisingly, this World Cup is, and maybe one day Australia will actually win a World Cup bid if we've got enough money, if we pay everyone enough.
Well,
So-
Chris says Peru actually called a public holiday in advance to celebrate. Classic.
Yeah.
Good evening, Tyson.
And speaking of like other sport, and we seem to overlook it pretty quickly, but Origin, massive.
Yeah, we're going to overlook that again.
That was,
It was.
in my mind, probably one of the classic Origins from a toughness point of view from both sides.
And I didn't watch it.
Anyone could have won.
I didn't watch it
Well,
because my daughter had the Kung flu, and the rest of us had the flu, the normal flu. So
Wow.
she was isolated in a room, and everyone else here was out cold.
yeah, right.
So yeah, it was a pretty slow week last week.
It was like watching Origin in the 90s as a kid.
Hi, Michelle.
Like, it was massive.
Yeah.
Like, it was
And then the Tigers sacked their coach.
crazy.
Sacked Madge.
What's,
Nathan Brown gone.
who's replacing Michael Maguire?
Brett Kamali till the end of the year.
Oh, I saw that. Do you reckon he'll be any good?
He's been brought in as a pathways development coach, so he's like a talent spotter more than anything.
Has he coached like New South Wales Cup or anything?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He might have. I don't know. Well, he start down the road of coaching NRL when he first retired.
Mm.
So I think he might have had assistant coaching.
Everyone's talking about like it's one Origin game. Everyone's saying, "Oh, Billy should go coach an NRL side, or Warriors should try and get him."
There's a big difference between
100%.
Yeah.
You're working with like they showed a stat the other night actually during Origin. This is really interesting. This is me geeking out again, but they had the hard earned index, but the average meters per minute for the NRL average was like 85. Like in terms of advancement or retreat, Origin was 125.
Yeah.
It was like 50-60% more like on top of what what NRL level was.
Yeah.
They basically just like added another half amount of that on top of it.
Yeah.
And that was where the game was at.
Yeah.
And so like that's the standard.
Yeah, he's done. Yes, Ben says you've done a spreadsheet, an Excel for sure. There is little doubt in my mind that Wal's done an
But what's
Excel.
crazy is like you're working with the best of the best. You're not
Yeah.
developing players from nothing
No.
or from nowhere.
Mm.
Like developing a pathways program. So you look at Penrith.
Yeah.
You look at Brisbane in the 90s, Storm, all of these great teams that have had kind of eras, money, but also
a couple of extra sets
you
of
look at-
bloody accounting books.
you look at their development pathway.
Mm.
Storm basically had when Storm came into the comp, they kind of got half the talent pool off the Broncos
Mm.
because they were just picking half the Q Cup teams. So
Yeah.
they had like East.
Well, John Rebo went to help set up the Storm, didn't
Yeah.
he? Didn't he? He
I
was
think
there.
so. And they had East, South Logan,
Yeah.
Magpies. You know, all the Q Cup sides, half of them all of them went from being Broncos to then half of them going to Storm.
Yeah.
And a few of them were Canberra for a bit.
Yeah.
And so Canberra's, a fair whack of Canberra's success in the 90s was also player pathway
Yeah.
from New South Wales but also Queensland. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. So from a Turfs perspective, Agridark oversowed with Rye at the stadium.
Yeah, massive.
Mm.
Came up quite good.
Yep.
I think interesting style of Origin play because it was windy. It wasn't a classic dewy surface.
No.
But I think also the way both sides defended on the playmakers, like Munster probably shone in the end because it became a more running game. Yeah. But both teams got up on the kicker, and the kicker didn't have time to kick well. But I don't think there was favourable conditions for a kicking game on the night. It was more just grit and running and just pulling something out of the hat that was going to do it, and that's kind of what did it.
How's Gibbo going? Well, you wouldn't recognise her now.
Yeah. She's
she's
going
transition.
No,
For her,
No.
that's gone really well.
Gibbo's lost close to 10 kegs.
Yeah.
Everyone, that's
He's done amazing.
in 6 weeks, and he's going to do another one. So it's all happening.
Benny saw a topless of him. It's worthy of OnlyFans. There is a topless picture of Gibbo going around.
Yeah,
It's not pleasant.
it's getting shared.
It's getting shared around.
Worthy of OnlyFans. He's a weapon.
Remember when Jono had that OnlyFans page? And it was just
Does that
pictures
still
of...
exist?
No, I
Surely.
don't know. I think it got taken down with all the other ones.
OnlyFans are probably like
And it was just fans, like actual fans.
actual fans. Like
It was so good.
How good.
It was the
Genius.
greatest thing ever.
Massive.
Well,
Shout out
that's-
to Jono.
That's the genius of our mate Jono. He's just a funny guy.
Yep.
So, what else happened? Oh, I suppose a sporting sort of turf crossover. We got to go to Redcliffe.
We did go to Redcliffe.
And we filmed a video. You'll see there'll be a video of us doing interviews with a couple of, like, you were fanboying hard, weren't you?
Yeah, it was. You don't get the chance to talk to these guys / meet these guys very often. Oh,
Frozzo.
Frozos.
Thank you very much. Frozzo.
If we stop talking
Thank you, Dan.
and it looks like we're having aneurysms, it's because we got brain freeze. Yeah, massive opportunity thanks to the good guys at Lawn Solutions Australia. So they had their conference in that same week, which I don't know. I was fortunate enough to attend.
That's the washing machine.
Yeah,
So it went from the Lawn Solutions National Conference, which was at the Riff, Penrith.
it was at Penrith Leagues Club, and even just that location, it was just amazing to go and see a club that's been so successful, to see their leagues club.
Set up.
The thing's got a time zone in it. The club itself, it's got 4 restaurants
Yeah.
and a time zone.
Yeah.
And then you
Everyone
start.
raves about the Broncos club, which is amazing.
Oh.
But
No.
seriously.
Broncos club goes all downhill from the blue jersey. Like, literally. And every game, they've never won a game in that blue jersey. You know, and it's on the ramp on the way down. It's everything about that blue jersey is just bad vibes. Anyways, Penrith Leagues Club, Lawn Solutions Conference, everything like just amazing. Really well done by the guys at Lawn Solutions.
And they had a guy named Professor
Brian Schwartz.
Professor Brian Schwartz, who's Dr. Brian Schwartz, but he says, just call me Brian. Just call me Brian.
So Brian is
like dead set lovely bloke.
Brian is
lovely bloke.
Texan.
Yeah.
So did his early part of his trade. So did a lot of his academia at Texas A&M, and then went from there to Georgia University to head up the turf breeding program.
Yeah.
And so if you go and play golf, like kind of north of like northern New South Wales up into Queensland, or you play on a bowls green, you go play barefoot bowls in Sydney, even down in Victoria, you're playing on probably TIFF 3 to 8, TIFF to Wharf,
Yeah.
TIFF Eagle.
Yeah.
TIFF is from Tifton in Georgia.
Yeah. That's where the
All
university-
those TIFF grasses are bred at Georgia University.
Yeah.
And so all Brian's predecessors bred TIFF grasses. And so it went kind of TIFF 3 to 8 or TIFF green.
Yeah.
TIFF to Wharf, TIFF Eagle on greens grasses.
Yeah.
It went TIFF 419, TIFF Sport, TIFF Grand really short. Lawn Solutions dropped it. And because of the way Lawn Solutions do things, they Australianise it for us. They make it easy. So they bring grasses from America and don't release them to the market until
They try them here first.
Yeah.
They research them here.
But not just internally. They get STRI
Yeah,
do it.
Independent test.
independent. And so they're the only ones that have like that depth of independent data.
Yeah.
But then they give it out to all their farms nationally.
Yeah.
And get the farms to provide feedback and tell them if it's any good. So
But, and then another level above that is a company called OzGap.
yeah,
AUSGAP. So that's Mick Sutton, who really was the driving force behind us being able to interview these guys. He goes to every turf farm that's registered with OzGap and inspects their turf.
approximately 40.
Tests their turf.
So the Lawn Solutions network is all. If you grow Tiff Tuff, you grow Sir Walter, you grow Sir Grange, you have to be OzGap accredited, and OzGap ties in with ITGAP, and ITGAP's the international turf. And so basically what it is if you as a customer, so us as a fanatic, we want Tiff Tuff, let's just say, and we go and buy Tiff Tuff.
Yeah, you'll get
10, 15 years ago in the turf industry, you could buy Tiff Tuff, or not Tiff Tuff, but you could buy a grass, i.e. wintergreen, as an example, and sometimes that turf could have turned up and it may not have even been wintergreen.
Might have been, green leaves, or it might have been Santa Ana, or...
And so thanks to the way Lawn Solutions are operating, they're bringing all these great grasses to market, but they're also making sure that the customer gets what they pay for through OzGap.
Yeah.
And so if you buy Tiff Tuff,
you're
getting Tiff Tuff, but you're also getting it to a standard. So make sure that it's X% weed free.
Yeah.
And if it isn't, with your certification, you can actually get back onto the farm and they'll tell you how to sort it, or they'll recognise where an issue might have arisen. So
the guy from ITGAP is Billy Skaggs, who's George.
Yeah, he's from...
Another great guy. Cracker of a bloke. And we got to chat to him as well. So I actually filmed the intros to those videos today. And I started editing them up tonight or this afternoon to post them straight after we had this chat. Wouldn't you know it? 3 times. 3 times. I said in my introduction video that we're at the Redlands Dolphins. Oh no!
Redland.
Cliff.
Well, they could be named anything. They're just called the Dolphins.
They're the Dolphins now.
Well,
That's true.
I put the hard word on. And thanks to the also Simon Adaman from Lawn Solutions.
Simon, lovely.
And
everyone's a lovely bloke tonight.
Yeah. Oh, we're lovey-dovey.
Yeah.
No, but thanks to
It's
the good people at Lawn Solutions, and also Redcliffe Dolphins. So we had Crusher, gave us the time. We walked the field.
Yep.
We got time to film videos. Then we went and and we actually got to go into the club. And we, Crusher gave us a bit on the history of the club and different players and things. And we tried to glean out of him who was the next signing. And he said they had one. As it turned out, it was Jared Wallace.
Yeah.
So, pretty decent forward.
But he wouldn't tell us. He wouldn't give us the mail.
Oh, I seriously thought it was Kalen Ponga.
Kalen Ponga.
I was into him.
No, he's staying in Newcastle.
And I was like, well,
with his strawberry milkshake.
And then I lifted up my shirt, showed him my Broncos jersey, and I was like, as long as they're not taking our players.
I don't wear West Tigers jersey because I'm a little bit ashamed of them.
Amazing though, people, if you've never been to Redcliffe, interestingly enough, what Crusher told us about Redcliffe, and it's awesome when you get
It is a tiff-tough field.
Yeah, it's a tiff-tough field. Oversown with rye. It looked pretty amazing. It comes up well. It got touted as the best NRL field last year, quality-wise.
Yeah.
But what was interesting talking to Crusher was years ago they looked at brand recognition, because what would happen if it was before Gold Coast Titans got into the
Because they were looking at using the Dolphins.
they were looking at naming them Gold Coast Dolphins. And so they paid a commission to company to look at what was brand recognised in Queensland or in Australia.
Yeah.
And the top things, interesting enough, like Queensland, but then
it was
in their Broncos,
and then it was the Bulls, and then the Reds, and then the Dolphins. And
Redcliffe, and that was just a Q Cup, so it's the next tier under NRL.
Yeah.
So they're like, we've got to hang on to this jersey. They're iconic. They're probably they will enter the NRL as the richest club in the NRL.
Have you seen the Panthers Leagues Club?
Yeah, well, but see, Panthers get a lot of funding, I think, because of their level of participation. From a community sense, they get a lot of state and federal government funding.
Yeah,
and I think eventually probably Redcliffe will. So
they've just been given they were promised a grant by the Libs to build a centre of excellence, but the Libs didn't get in. So, any idea, Wally, what the main turf variety will be at the new Sydney Football Stadium?
I don't know. Is that Graham? Is that Logan?
No, they didn't do. Graham Logan didn't do Sydney Football Stadium. They did. So that was New South Wales Venues he works for.
Yeah, and that's not included.
I don't think so. So they did. No, because that's part of they were part of the SCG Trust.
Yeah. Okay.
From memory.
Yeah.
So Logan did the Olympic Stadium and Combank Stadium.
So that'll be SCG. Will probably have a fair bit of.
Maybe it's still SCG Trust.
Interesting. I don't know. It's hard to say. I think it'd be remiss of them not to look at the likes of Tiff Duff. Not to look at what they've already got at the SCG. But I don't.
The stuff at the SCG is pretty much all ryegrass though.
Well, and that's the thing. Like you ask us what it is, and even the other night at the stadium, wintertime, it's predominantly rye. Even Suncorp.
Yeah.
Predominantly what you see throughout the season is rye, but what gives it its structure is sometimes if it's stabilised turf.
Yeah.
But also the couch base.
Yeah.
So.
Because I know when they played rugby at SCG last year, they had issues with scrummaging and the like. It was just ripping up big chunks.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing, like, if you go 100% rye...
Carpet grass.
No, yeah.
It's not going to survive in Sydney.
It'll be a couch base. It'll be a transitional surface, couch base, don't know what type. I don't know, like, if they look at it from a research front and go purely on what's available, then Tiff Tough goes in straight away.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's got tangible research done in Australia. That otherwise, if they're looking at track record, period of time...
And he said based on, like, not just the above ground appearance, but the action that it grows underneath.
Right, it's probably the only hybrid of the lot. The reason it's drought tolerant, it's the only hybrid of the lot that has the drought tolerance, or proven drought tolerance that it has. And the reason it has the drought tolerance is because it's rhizomatous. And so if you want something that holds well under scrums, has good traction, you want rhizomes. Yeah. And so if they go for something rhizomatous and a hybrid, then probably why not Tiff Tough? And then if they go for something that's rhizomatous and a common couch, then it's probably just going to be wintergreen. But the danger you get with wintergreen, and you look at other stadia that have put it in, what's happened? They've had mutations.
Yeah.
Or they've had the mutations already exist on farm. It's rare that you get a pure, 100% pure
Wintergreen.
strain of wintergreen, and even the original wintergreens, there's still encroachment and things in there. So if you got Osgap out to look at a wintergreen, it'd be very difficult for them to say on any given day that field's 100% pure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they might follow and go Agridark too.
They could go Agridark.
It'd be interesting to see. It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, but
sitting on Gibbo, no.
I think stadium management, some things
Comfy cushion, no.
take measured approaches. Yeah.
Well, I mean, look at Suncorp. It's got, what's he got? Celebration or something?
Legend.
Legend. But it's also got at least one other field worth, a hectare, growing in a turf.
Well, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. Generally the stadium management needs a good relationship with a turf farm that's capable of, at any one time, maybe laying that field 3 times over across a year. So,
well, Logs has got
Evergreen or whatever.
Graham Logan. They've got their own.
Dad and Dave's, or is it?
I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah.
But they've got Agridark.
Yeah.
Out of Windsor somewhere, they've got at least 2 fields worth.
Which
I think
is probably
said 2 or 3.
what this stadium will have. They'll have a grower.
Yeah.
On call. That can lay thick cut turf, so it'll need to be a grower that's capable of that.
Yeah.
There's not many growers that are.
Yeah.
That quality.
Michelle is saying, hello Michelle, is saying look, the wintergreen needs much more sun and nutrition than Tip Top.
I think that'll play into it too. Like you look at stadium stands.
Yeah.
Quite high, especially the new stadium. It's high.
She said Agridark is also, it's actually called Albidark now. Because Albie's got it and he loves it, so he calls it Albidark.
Depends what you want though. It is a slower grower than Tip Tough. You got to look at things like game schedule as well.
Yeah, traffic, how much traffic he's going to get.
Yeah, Tip Tough will pale it on every traffic test every day.
Yeah.
That's what the data says.
Data. It's all about the data.
It is.
And the Excel spreadsheets.
It is. It is about the data and the Excel spreadsheets.
Well, we had a conversation yesterday about the footy fields that I look after in our planning our renovations for September, didn't we?
Yeah. But it was what you got to look at, and this is something for the fanatics to think about when they renovate this spring, is how they time their applications of nutrition with what stage the plant is in. Because there's no point putting heaps of nutrition down when you've just renovated, when you've stripped the plant back by half.
Yeah.
And you're putting like a huge amount down.
Yeah.
You're probably better off putting off something that's slow or controlled, or something that's going to drip feed over a period of time till it gets to a point where you've got good cover. Then you can bomb it with something that's fast released, like a conventional.
Yeah.
So we were talking about how to time that and what to do there.
Because I've got an 8-week window where they've agreed to let me do weird stuff.
Yeah.
Before they've got, it's 8 weeks where they're going to shut the fields. They're happy to shut the fields for me. And then they've got leading into a sevens tournament. So the sevens tournament is 3 weeks after that 8-week window.
Yeah. How's the turf vary between NRL and AFL grounds?
Aside from seasonal rye overseas. Usually, well, the southern ones are all ryegrass, aren't they?
Yeah, predominantly.
Because the AFL likes the ball skidding on, like soccer. They like that skid.
The other big difference about AFL grounds, and weirdly enough, actually stadia in general, but a huge difference between an AFL and a league ground is the kinds of shade you get, and you get pockets on because of the roundness. You get swirling, you get microclimates on the field, and so while it appears like a uniform surface on the top, and it generally looks that way, there's probably 7 or 8 different management areas.
They'll have that corner
that sector is getting done.
Water. This one needs a little bit extra fertilizer
because of the brownness.
Yeah.
And the weird shading and all that kind of thing. You know, the middle of the field gets sun all day, but then there's that whole edge of the ground, probably on the northern end, that gets shaded.
Yep.
And the stands, like you look at the MCG, it's the tallest stands in Australia. that's going to cast a massive shade line.
Yeah.
So
they use the lights.
you're going to have a bigger grey light footprint. So they use much more artificial lighting.
Yeah.
And not so much, not just for light, but for heat as well, supplemental heat.
Yeah.
So sodium, there was this thing years ago, like people were looking at LED lighting, so it has the right color of light. But the challenge, like the thing you don't get out of LED light, is the warmth.
Yeah.
So like what also you get, and sodium light is as much about delivering light, but it's actually as much about the temperature, the additional temperature you get
I better
from
check
the lights.
the YouTubes. There might be people talking to us. Have we printed out the? So in the file section of the Fanatics, you'll find lawn programs. They have been printed out, and if you want a copy, Gary, come and pick one up.
Yeah,
I've got some.
Yeah, there is the total dominance one, and we actually have done the two, like the easy and the bare essentials. They're all in the total dominance one's already printed. It's an A1 calendar, and you can put it up on your wall. It's like a poster.
Yeah.
And then we actually have done the easy and bare essentials. I just need to print it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it can go. You'll be able to get it from our big green shed.
Yeah. So I've got them. If you want them, come and get them. I've got them.
Buy something, you get a free Landscape Pro hat.
Yep.
And the program will get sent in the mail to you. And you don't even have to come and pick it up.
I send free stuff when you buy things off me. Wally's garage is full of them. And Wally's garage is pretty full, but I don't think it's got a lot of.
There's like a Vespa in there. There's stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like it's just cusso.
There's some weird stuff.
Just redneck stuff.
I've just got a Mowmaster in mine. That's it.
I need a Mowmaster in my life.
Everyone needs a Mowmaster in their life.
Yeah.
It's a good thing, man. It's good. So we're missing Gibbo. Poor Gibbo. Well, I think Gibbo's doing really well. We said before he's lost. What's he lost?
About just on 10, like close to 10.
Yeah.
Was it more than that?
I don't know.
I thought it was maybe 10 or 12. Or it's a substantial amount in a short amount of time.
Yeah, he's done really well.
And he's
off the cans as well, isn't he? He's been off the cans.
Yeah, he's off the tins. And I think that's the thing, like, he's built probably good habits. Like, I think he's obviously had some beers since, but probably not to the extent that he was prior to.
Good on him.
Well done.
Benny's got a Mowmaster that's not. Oh, yeah, I've got to pick that up. Benny, I'll pick that up maybe tomorrow or Thursday, one of the two. I'll come and get it. Someone ordered a Mowmaster through the big green shed. So I've got to go. Is that Benny's? Because I don't have a forklift.
We didn't say that we had a big announcement, but we do, thanks to our sponsors, McDonald's.
At the Frozo shop?
Yeah. No. We can only dream. Big Mac a day keeps the doctor away.
Yes, of course it does.
You ask Warren Buffett. Apparently he has a large cheeseburger meal every day.
Really?
Lunch. Richest man in the world.
No, he's not.
Close to.
He's in the top 10.
Yeah.
15 maybe.
Tightest bloke in the world though.
He still lives in the same house he bought in the 60s.
I know. No need to. Yeah.
No, there's no need for that. No need for that sort of shenanigans. So, yeah, any questions, send them through. We'll endeavour to answer them honestly.
Yeah.
Or we'll make it up as we go.
Yeah. Did you say you're going to cut a video of the combos with Brian and Billy?
Yeah, I did an introduction one.
Yeah.
To add to this to explain.
So it'll be like a series.
No, we'll kind of run it as one, but to say this is what, who we're talking to, and this is why we're talking to them, and but then I kind of stuffed it up, so I'll do that again tomorrow.
Mm. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I might actually. No, I'll change it. I'll separate them, and I'll do an interview with Brian, and the second one an interview with Bill.
So 4 videos total. Intro for each, or intro for
each. So it'll be intro, interview, intro, interview.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's really interesting. Like, you talk to these guys and I've spoken to Brian a couple of times, but he still blows you away. And a lot of the questions we asked were for the fanatics. Like we were asking, like, what does it take to breed something like Tif Tuff that takes 20 years?
And the sheer number of Bermuda or couch grass types.
Yeah.
That they tried and said no.
I think
27,000 or something
we
like
might get the guys from Lawn Solutions and Mick from Ozgap to send you a couple of photos that you can put
that. Yeah.
in the comments on the bottom of the video, or even cut them into the video, because there's photos that I've seen of on the research grounds at Tifton in Georgia, and there'll be something like a couple of thousand grasses grown out in the field, and everything's droughted except for like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
And Brian's like, it's just a numbers game. We're just
Yeah.
looking for that one of thousands that
Yeah.
does something, and that's the one we run with. Like, you just keep picking from the best of the best.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy.
Gaz, cool attempts. What are we to expect, Wally? What are we? We're going to expect Wally. With different grass types, seeing people are panicking and wanting to fert a bit. I suppose it just depends on what your grass is going to use, and if it's under, if it's asleep, they're not going to use anything really, are they?
No.
Might
And-
suck in a bit of iron, maybe. Not even really.
Well, it's not gonna. Iron's just gonna predominantly stain. I think you'd be interested, but if we did this work, we did iron at 4 different rates, and we started at like an iron, kind of similar to the we have a product called Iron Effect, but similar to your Plant Doctor iron.
Max Green or
Yeah,
yeah.
but we just did it at like, we started at untreated, and then we did 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 litres a hectare. So 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 mils per 100 square metres.
Yeah.
Product. And then we tissue tested for iron.
Yeah.
Sprayed it on, tissue tested again, and then over a series of days following. And what we found was the percentage iron in the 50 or the 500 mils didn't differ from the percentage of iron in the 100 mils. Differed from the untreated because you weren't treating it.
Yeah.
But it did differ. So there's only so much the plant could take in.
Yeah. Particularly when it's going
And then the
dormant.
effect you're getting is blackening. And if you looked at the leaf blade close up, essentially what you're getting is staining of the leaf.
Yeah, it's not sucking it in.
So it's not actually taking it in. And so there's that long held thing and that's why when we talk about calibrating a sprayer, that's why getting the water rate matters so much.
Yeah.
Because based on the source of your iron and the pH of your soil, the source of the iron is important, and so too is the water rate. Because if you can get that iron to stay on the leaf, because you're trying to get a staining effect, you essentially want to paint your grass. You don't want the water to roll off the leaf and go down onto the soil, because we've seen under high pHs, as an example, iron sulfate within 24 hours can get tied up. So, what should I say about soil testing?
Soil nutrition analysis is best done autumn and or spring, so soil amendments can do their thing whilst turf is slow or dormant. Now's the time to apply your gypsum, your lime and or your dolomite.
Yeah. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, also think about potentially, if you wanted to, how to get that into your soil. Probably not in winter time, but maybe early spring, because calcium, it's not very mobile.
Yeah.
Like things like gypsum, it comes down to the micron size. Like how
we had that gypsum discussion before in the in the last studio.
Yeah, it's been shared, but also like the actual quality of your gypsum will determine how quickly it acts.
Yeah, right.
On your pH.
Yeah.
That's why I like to have these liquid gypsums, and they say like, oh, it does this much. Mathematically, it doesn't actually change the calcium parts per million in the soil by that much.
Yeah, right.
You just realise it changed quicker.
Just watch the microphone.
You just realise it changed quicker because it's getting into your soil profile more quickly, because the micron, like the size of it, can get through your pore spacings more quickly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So.
But to change the composition of your soil takes time.
Well, it takes time to get into your soil, so if you want to get it in quick, you need to do it around renovation.
Yeah.
Anything. That's why Michelle was saying spring, winter and spring.
Which, even more so, is planting before you lay turf.
Yeah.
is to get a soil analysis done so you can incorporate those things that you need
Yeah.
to before you put your turf down.
I hope your August is clear, Michelle, because you got 1,000 soil tests in August. No.
1,000.
Yeah, so
a week,
August.
1,000 a week.
August is a great time to soil test, Michelle. Hope you're ready. No.
So what was the other news that came out of the Redlands Dolphins, the Redcliffe Dolphins trip? I'm going to be changing turf type.
Oh yeah. They have a new Zoysia coming, which
Yeah, I'm going with the Zoysia in the front yardie. Yeah, well maybe.
I have a feeling we might have seen it on the page, and someone shared it, or maybe from an international source, and someone's like, "You guys will get your hands on this soon."
Yeah.
I think Lawn Solutions already have their hands on it. I think they've got the work, and they've already got growers that have grown it.
Yeah.
So, Lenny's going to put it in. I think I'm going to put some in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah,
because I'm pretty.
Run.
From what I've seen,
my cooch is really struggling because of shade.
That's the feedback.
Like the trees that have grown, and I can't cut them down. I'm not allowed to. They've grown to the point where it's now affecting the cooch, and I haven't mowed in a couple of weeks now because I'm going to kill it in a couple of weeks' time. In a month and a half, I'll start killing it off. So I'm not doing anything to my turf now until probably a month before the new stuff, where we'll start filming the process of redoing it.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. But yeah, I think what they've tried to crack is one, shade tolerance.
Yeah.
In Zoysia.
Yeah.
Because Grange, but its growth rate
is really slow.
Yeah, so like you can get damage and then it doesn't come back, and people go, "Oh, it's not shade tolerant." Yeah, it is if you leave it alone.
Yeah.
So they want shade tolerance, but then they want recovery, so they want growth rate as well.
Yeah.
So try to crack that, and they think that this could be the one.
Yeah.
Which makes it cool. That's why we all want to put it in, because we just want to.
So it's a fast-growing Zoysia.
Yeah, or faster than anything else out there.
Faster-growing Zoysia.
Yeah. Well, from all reports, that's what they're saying. It looks even faster than, say, Buffalo, and it's probably between a Buffalo and a Coach. Maybe even Cooch-ish. Woo!
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
that's exciting, though.
Get out with the Primo or the Marvel or the what else that you can buy in our big green shed.
But in the trial work, Brian was saying that, and this is like we talk about spreadsheets, we joke about spreadsheets,
but it's all about the spreadsheet.
But Brian's predecessor.
Do you reckon he'd be better on an Excel than you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, he would be. Yeah, he'd probably. I'd love to learn some things off Brian.
Yeah.
On the Excel.
Oh yeah.
But Brian's predecessor, Earl, I think it was Dr. Earl Elsner.
Yeah.
So Earl was involved in TIF Tough, or some of TIF Tough, also involved in some of the like TIF Eagles and things like that. Earl has his own research grants in his backyard. These folks.
Oh, he said that.
And he's like, they only needed 3, like, because when you run research trials, you need repetitions to prove, you know, and when you run the statistical analysis, you need multiple repetitions. They only needed 3 because they had so many grasses in the trial. They only needed 3.
Yeah, repetitions.
Dr. Earl put 23 repetitions in his backyard. But you can see clearly in the photos how shade tolerant this Zoysia
is.
Amazing. So, yeah.
From what we understand, yeah.
Yeah, we think so. From what we've heard.
It's here. Getting tested, turf breeder testing it, at least testing it. So they've got it in a testing facility, which is not far. It's in Brisbane.
I think they're true tests.
It would be. It'd be being grown somewhere. Yeah. I
think sit on your hands, because like it could be a bit of a wait, because they might want to go through. If it's worth its weight, they probably want to go through.
We've had a miss on the.
Should we run mobile?
What? Everything.
How
upstairs
How are these still running?
Yeah.
on the TV and stuff.
Mm.
Maybe the fuse.
Yeah, I do. Not.
Surely this will work. Is that?
No, I'll do it, mate.
Pause at a really bad point.
Yeah. Connecting automatically. I know, I don't care about that. Just can't connect to that network.
Holy smokes! How different does that house look that Gary did?
Yeah.
Unreal.